we doing, guys? And it's finished. Arsenal 2, Villareal 3. And yeah, that wasn't really what I was hoping for when I came along to the game. I was expecting a bit of a decent game. I was expecting goals, and I was expecting us to score the goals. I weren't expecting us to concede 3. And I think we've got a bit of a problem on our left-hand side. And it's not just the left-hand side in terms of Martinelli or Trossard, etc. Even with the left-back position, I think that Mikel Arteta's trying something a little bit different. And Miles Lewis-Skelly is getting caught out badly in transition. And it means that we're conceding some goals that we don't normally concede. Now, I know there's one part of it where you can look at and you can say, well, it's pre-season, at least get it done now rather than, during the season. But we're a week away from the season starting at Old Trafford. So I look at that and I think, that's a bit of a cause for concern. That's a bit of a problem. And yeah, listen, at the end of the day, all our problems would be a lot better if Max Downman was right-footed. And I still find it absolutely insane that 15-year-olds can come onto the pitch and do things that senior players are not doing. Senior players are not grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck when they need to. And I'm looking at that, and I think the best way of describing it is probably that felt like last season all over again. That's what it did. That felt like last season all over again. That felt like, where we was a little void of ideas, where we went into certain phases and we were struggling to break teams down. And that's what it felt like. Again, it felt like we were struggling to break teams down. And, we go to this ridiculous penalty shootout, and I still don't know why they do, a penalty shootout when you lose a game. But I think it's pre-season and there's lots of families and children here, so they probably want to give them a little bit something. But then we go and lose that as well. And Noni Madueke steps up with a terrible penalty. And when he stepped up to take it, I actually sat there and thought to myself, oh no, please don't let it be him. Please don't let him miss, because you know what's going to happen. The trolls are going to start. The comments are going to happen. And I felt sorry for Gyökeres today, because he had Martinelli running down blind alleys. He had Mikel Moreno behind him. And there were a couple of good moments, but there were moments where he was making runs and the ball just wasn't being released to him. Miles Lewis-Skelly in particular was guilty of that, where he wouldn't release the ball in certain phases. And I was like, okay, they're getting used to him. They're trying to work each other's games out and all the rest of it. But I just look at it in general and I just think, with a week to go till the start of the season, we shouldn't look so much like we were last season. Does that make sense? Maybe on match week 1 of pre-season, 3-4 weeks ago, you could get away with it. But we've got a week until the Premier League season starts, and we've got to go to Old Trafford. And I'm looking at it and thinking to myself, there's no fluidity. There's no idea or identity at the moment. That's what it looks like. And again, I know people will say it's pre-season and this is what pre-season's for. And I don't want to get too carried away, and I don't want to, start thinking the worst before we've got going. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I sat there and thought, when we've had a successful season, I need to dig into the archives and have a look at how we did in pre-season during those seasons we done really well. And before I even had a chance, somebody went and put our pre-season results up the year we went invincible. Put it this way. If we had those type of results now against the teams we were playing back in 2004, my word, there'd be meltdowns. Absolute meltdowns. But I just feel Mikel, go out and get the job done. Go and get Eze. Go and get us a winger. And until I see otherwise, Madueke is not the answer on that left-hand side. I think he can, you know, do a job and be a problem, but overall, he's not going to be the answer, in my opinion. He may prove me wrong, and I hope he does, but at the moment, I just don't see enough there to go, okay, I'm going to see, you know, him lighting up that left-hand side. And when you look at it in contrast, and you've got Saka on the right, and then you look at Max Downman when he comes on, and during pre-season, Max Downman has overtook Ethan Nwaneri in terms of the level of what he's doing. You know, Nwaneri, there were times today in Odegaard's role, which everybody's saying is his best position, where you can see why he's not quite ready. But Max Downman, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking to myself, 15 years old, but yet he has to be involved in the Premier League games. When he comes on, he causes problems. Look at the penalty he won. That little turn that he did. And he's doing it to seasoned professionals. So I've got no issues with throwing him in to Premier League games, bringing him off the bench at Old Trafford with 20 minutes to go or whatever it might be. Why not? If he's there, I don't care if he's 15. Play him. It's that simple. So, and like I said, I wish Max Downman had a right foot, because if he did, it would sort out all our left-hand problems. But we ain't that lucky, are we? We just seem to be producing absolute ballers with left foots. But yeah, overall defensively, it was a little bit shaky. But I will go with the positives as well. And the positives are Gabriel returning, massive positivity, you know, in terms of him coming back. Jurriën Timber returning, that is massively positive. So yeah, minutes in the legs, as they say. Zubimendi gets a goal. And yeah, Odegaard gets the penalty, but overall it was just too lackluster for me. There weren't enough there. It was just a little bit too flat, a little bit too like last season. That's what it felt like to me anyway. So listen, we go again at the weekend. We'll see what happens, and that'll be a good test. And they played Liverpool the other day, and they caused Liverpool some problems, you know, defensively. But at the same time, they were very vulnerable in defence themselves. So we'll see where we are. We've got no more games after that. So are we ready or not? I don't think so. I think we need to strengthen. We still need a couple of players. Eze first, then a winger, probably deadline day. I don't know. But listen, let me know in the comment section what you thought about the game. And yeah, under 2 weeks till the season starts. I'm a little worried. We'll wait and see. So listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.